So Matthew and I met for the first time in, oddly enough, October.
The first time I ever met Leveda was when I was already working here at Tech. We were hosting a trunk or treat event out in our parking lot for
where they invited local kids to come and trick or treat in the parking lot. And so the marketing club decided we would participate in the event, and so we kind of did like a themed trunk or treat. And so I'll never forget, I was wearing a Red Bowling Springs baseball uniform. It was my brother's.
She was wearing a baseball uniform, a Red Bowling Springs baseball uniform, and at first I looked at her and I was like, it wouldn't have been my first choice for a Halloween costume for a trunk or treat, but she looked pretty. She was beautiful in it, and that's the first time I met her and saw her, and that's the first time I knew that I wanted to get to know her more and better.
And so we just kind of briefly met, and I was a graduating senior and didn't really give it a whole lot more thought. And so it was not long after Misty, the lady that had introduced us, called me and said, hey, I'm going to have a graduate assistant position open next year. If you're interested, when you graduate, you can come work with me in athletics, and we'll pay for your graduate degree. And I said, okay, that sounds like a great idea to me. So I went to work, and before I started, I went and job shadowed Misty and her staff at the time, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. And I met Matthew again for the second time, and this time he was on crutches, and he had hurt himself playing basketball, and so he was kind of hobbling around all over the place. And again, I really didn't give it a whole lot of thought. I met him, and that was kind of the end of it. So I started working in athletics the first week of June, so in 2008.
It's June of 2008, and from the very first time, for the very first day she started at Tech, I've texted her every day or talked to her every day on the phone, in person, some way, somehow. But the very first day I got her number from her boss, and I texted her, and
he got my phone number my very first day of work from Misty, my boss, and started texting me right then, the very first day. And
I was at home washing my car and cleaning it all up and detailing it just in case, because I knew I was gonna see if she wanted to go do something and wanted everything to look good and be ready. And so I texted her that afternoon after we got off work, and asked her if she wanted to go see a movie with me, and right away she texted back, turned me down, and she said she had plans with friends, and that they had a thing that they did I think it was a Monday. They went and got Chick-fil-A because it was Tech night, and watched some TV show or something. At the time, I didn't know if that was true or if she was just blowing me off, or if she's gonna be one of those ones that was gonna be hard to get. But it was true. She really did have plans and everything. She wasn't blowing me off. But
I had never had a serious boyfriend at all. I mean, I had dated, but I hadn't had a serious boyfriend, and wasn't really looking for one at the time. And I certainly didn't want to do anything to date someone that we worked with that would make things awkward or compromise things.
So we started talking, and we really didn't do much outside of work, but we started doing caravans that summer, which we go to surrounding counties and do things. And it's her department and the department I'm in, and after one of the caravans, it was the one when we went to McMinnville, it was July the 23rd when I finally broke down and said, okay, I'll go out on a date with you. And it was after I think it was the McMinnville caravan, and we went to Chili's. We got back, her and I went to Chili's. We invited other people to go, but no one went. It was just her and I. So that was on July 23rd, 2008. And we consider that to be our first date. So
I have to give him props, because he was really persistent. Because I just kind of kept putting him off, and he just kept on and on and on and on. And so
I remember exactly where we sat, what we both ate, and
had dinner. And I can remember exactly what booth we were sitting in. And
I bought and had to fight with her for that, because I don't know if that was she didn't want to consider that a date or whatnot, but that was what we consider our first official date.
And he'll probably tell you, the first time that he said something about, wow, I can't believe I can actually call you my girlfriend, I kind of just freaked out because I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And then I think he realized that I was freaked out, and so it was kind of awkward for a day or two, and then it was weird not being around him, and so 5 years later almost, we're still together and we're engaged, and now we're getting married, and we're so happy.
That's how we met, and every day since then we've talked and been together, and I've loved every minute of it. I can't wait for every other minute for the rest of our lives, and can't wait till we get married.